Stream is starting. The Captain Coder at the helm. Bean water is ready. Today we will learn a lot. He loves the questions, he loves to sing. Join our Discord and follow him.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you happen to be in the world. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Happy Saturday. It's wonderful to have you here. That's right, Whimsically Made. There is an intro song thanks to the wonderful, the one, the only, Dykuric Stygian. Stygian is my 1,000th follower, my 2,000th follower. We appreciate Stygian here. Incredible fella, incredible human being. So great to have the whole crew here. It's so wonderful to have all you beautiful people here. Thank you so much for coming by. We just came over from the Grumpy Game Dev stream. We're over there doing test-driven development. Grumpy, thank you so much for letting us hang out with you. It's on every second Saturday. Thank you so much for letting us hang out with you. Had a wonderful time over there. I feel like I learned so much. What's going on? My music is getting crazy. I feel like there's two songs playing or something at the same time. That was weird. All right, fixed it. But it's so great to have all you beautiful people here. Stygian, thank you for being here. Whimsically Made says it's fortunate the 2,000 follower was someone who sang well. Yeah, I think that that song is AI generated. I'm not sure. I think it's AI generated. But look, you guys aren't here for the I feel like maybe you are here. I don't know why. Look, honestly, I don't know why anybody is here at all. You're not here for the singing, but are you here for the singing? Who knows? Rex, welcome back to the stream. Oh, it's Saturday, folks. I gotta have caffeinated coffee on Saturdays. It's so good. Fresh meat right off the bat. Getting started with that hat redeem. Thank you for the hat redeem. Oh, thank you for the hat redeem. Welcome aboard. Smab is not all here. It's okay. What parts of you are here, Smab? They got a pinky? Do I got a big toe? Do I got a thumb? Maybe got one nostril. Which part is here? Got to start it off right. That's right, Fresh Meat. Code Monk. I also want to say welcome back to stream. Great to have you here. Bean water is coffee. Look, bean water gets us going. BK. You can have it your way with BK Dev. Thank you. BK, it's great to have you here. Roy Koo, welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you here. Kuwani, happy Saturday. It's great to have all these wonderful, incredible, beautiful people. If I missed something in chat, I was busy getting the stream set up, so I might have missed some stuff in chat. Chrissy says, I'm on the train and I don't have headphones. That's okay, Chrissy. I know you can't hear me, but we love you anyway. Crazy, I have some news for you. Update, more of an update. Congratulations on being number 11, Fresh Meat. Graham, welcome back to the stream. How the heck have you been, my friend? I hope you've been well. I feel like I haven't got a chance to chat with you too much over on Grumpy Stream lately. I've been sleeping in, folks. Captain Coder's been getting sleepy. Smab, it's always wonderful to have you here. G, I hope you're having a beautiful day. I think, thank you for the dopamine. Thank you for the hit of dopamine there. Yeah, gets us going. If I missed the hat, let me know, someone. I know sometimes I miss them. Should have done that earlier. I never collect those. It's okay. I got my JD Does Dev big brain mug. It finally walked. It's been in the mail. Finally walked over to my mailbox to get it, which was nice. Maybe Tall, welcome back to the stream. Enjoy your lurk, my friend. Always appreciate the support. Crizzy, we love you very much. Man Brave, good game, Man Brave. GG, Man Brave, how you doing, friend? Welcome back to the stream. Rex, glad to have you here. And Ascertainment, always a lovely to see that name in the chat. Ascertainment, everybody, I hope you're having a beautiful day. What are we working on today? What are we doing today? We're continuing to work on our Pac-Man inspired game for our project. I keep saying here, welcome to Cruz voted, selected as our next project. Today we were figuring out how the game will work and if we can make it. Yeah, I should update that up. Yeah, Crizzy, if you can hear me, I want to let you know I did look into it. It turns out it's a little bit expensive to have a PO box. So there's a couple options here. Fast chat, welcome back. So Crizzy wants a hat donation box. I think that would be really fun. There are a few challenges with the hat donation box. The biggest one is that it's going to cost money for me to have a place big enough for people to send hats. So P.O. Box that's big enough to receive hats costs something like, I think it was like $300 a year. So I think what I'm going to do, let me look at it. I'm on the other screen real quick. Let me turn off my screen. I don't want to accidentally reveal my my secret location deep in the heart of a mountain somewhere. P.O. Box cost here. USPS P.O. Box. Let me get this P.O. Box here. When I looked it up, give out a neighbor's address. Yeah, give it to a neighbor. P.O. Box. Let's look at here. I'm looking it up real quick. How do I apply? Come on. Why is your site so terrible? It did go for a while here. All right. P.O. Box cost. USPS P.O. Box cost. So there's a couple options. I could get a P.O. Box. I could get a virtual address. So the problem with the virtual address is that now none of my, when I click the links, nothing's working. That's weird. Okay, 1 second. Give me a second here. Chrissy doesn't have headphones. Why are you asking questions? Why are you asking questions if you can't hear me? Chrissy, long story short, it cost money to have a place for you to send things. I'm thinking of setting up a fund for the P.O. Box / virtual address. There we go. All right, so long story short, I think it's going to cost money to have a place for you guys to send things. It's a little bit more expensive than I want to pay for it for my, like, just pay for it, because I don't get a lot of stuff sent to me. But if I'm getting lots of hats sent to me, it might be worth it. Fatch, does it mean I cannot fold you my tin-fold foil hat and send it to you? Send me a tinfoil hat. That's you could. I just don't have a place for you to send it yet. So I had, it's not that, I don't actually think it's that hard to find a ton of information about on me. I had a unfortunate experience with someone sending me something in the mail that they shouldn't have been sending me. And so, and I didn't even give out my address is the thing. I didn't give my address out. I do have a virtual address that I can have people send stuff to, but then I have to pay, the shipping becomes double, because whatever you sent to ship it to the virtual address, they do some stuff with it and then they can send it to me, but then I have to pay for that shipping. And so it ends up being quite expensive per hat. So I don't want to use that, because then I'll have to, every time someone sends me a hat, I'll have to spend $20 to get the hat or whatever it'll be. A P.O. Box has a, yeah, BK, it was a little, I don't know if I was scared. I was more frustrated than anything. But thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to be looking at some stuff. Virtual hats are cheaper. Yeah, so Chrissy, I'm looking into it. We're going to see if, I think we're going to set up a fund for a P.O. Box. The problem, P.O. Boxes aren't too expensive, but to have a P.O. Box big enough to receive a package turns out to be a non-trivial cost, multiple, like several $100s per year. So it's not crazy, but the monthly, reoccurring monthly cost is more than I'm willing to spend. So I think we might set up a fund. If people really want to send me stuff, we can set up a fund here to get the hat donation box open up. Well, we'll see what's going to happen with that. But what are we working on today? Let's take a look here. Let me not reveal anything unfortunate here. Let's pull open our Capman project. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're back here. I did do some refactoring, but let's check out what I have so far. .NET Run, project, Capman, Raylib. Oop, not Raylib Y. So last time we were here, I don't think I've changed any functionality, but I have refactored. Oh, I did add scaling functionality. I did make it so we could scale up the screen and make it nice and big if I needed to. Oh, I did add a few things. I added pause. I can pause it. I added a toggle for information, and I added a grid button. This was so I could make videos about the Pac-Man without having to like go in and edit it. So I actually made it so we can turn a grid on and off to talk about different gridding on it. And then also this information, you can see it here. While it's paused, you can set the next move. So I did set up a pause option here so that I could specifically talk about in my videos how the Pac-Man will take this turn here. So we can look here, Pac-Man has the next move we're gonna try and take in memory. So we've said we want to try and move right. When it gets to the center of this particular tile, a center of spot where an intersection can happen, it will do a check to say, can I go right? If it can, it will actually take that move, but only if it would cross the center point. If you actually cross the center point and then tap right, it won't let you make that move. But we remember to do it that way. We also, there was a bug I fixed. You can't do it now, but you could actually teleport. As you're teleporting through, you could actually move here. So there's a brief moment where Pac-Man was outside of the bounds of the map and can move around and end up in weird places like here, here, and here, or even here. And so I did fix that. That was a fun little bug that we ran into. But yeah, here's our pet. This is what we have so far. Let me go over the refactor really quick. Tommy Luco, welcome back to the stream. Thank you for the nice
good.
Code Monk. Thank you for the nice. How's the music volume? Is the music too loud for anyone? It feels really loud to me, but I think it's just in my headphones. Ooh, I like the idea of having Catman eat donuts. Can't hear the music. That's probably a good thing. That's probably a good thing. I don't know that we actually want the music to be too loud. I don't have any bugs in my code. I don't even edit the lines. I just echo the code into files and compile the code. Beautiful. I didn't know. Yeah, so I want it to be quiet enough that if someone's just watching it, there's a little bit of music there. I don't want the music to be super annoying or distracting or turn anyone off from the stream. Okay, so let's take a look. I did do a refactor. I'm more happy with the code than I was previously. I don't think it's perfect. Oh, Chami Luku, I knew it was. I knew you weren't being serious. Good question here. I'm more or less happy with the code I have here. I think it is. We should write some tests for it, but there's a couple things that we do. Here. We have in our game here. The logic is we update Capman. It's interesting here, this delta, I'm not sure I completely like this being passed in here or not. This is the number of seconds that have passed. Okay, no, I'm okay with this. Number of seconds passed. Update Catman. So when we update Catman, we calculate how much the Catman should move based off this delta. So speed times the amount of time that is passed here. You're disappointed that I'm using not using Vim or Neo Vim. Yeah, there's some reasons for that, but I think you're aware of them. I would probably be using Emacs otherwise, but I might use Neo Vim. I think a lot of people really. I see a lot of productivity from using Vim. Okay. A little hard to see here, but that's okay. There was a layout setting that I saw. Oops, that's not what I want. I want to change my layout here. Customize layout. I liked my bar on the right here. I'm gonna see if I like this or not. I kind of liked this idea of having this here because it's behind the chat and it gives me more real estate to use on the left side. I'm gonna try this. Let me guys know if the chat on the screen is tricky or not. Tommy Luco says Emacs or Vim are both 1,000 times better than VS Code. Yeah, it comes from the person. That's like an opinion. I have very little against VS Code. I don't think it's the best tool, but I think it is a versatile tool. For some reason, Tommy Luco says, I constantly break the terminal inside VS Code, which is the main reason I've switched to NeoVim. Interesting. I feel like the terminal works mostly fine unless I'm doing window-y things. So it has some weird issue with Raylib that I've never run into. That I've been running into is what I meant to say. Dramolks, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you. Ease of use and initial configuration. Yeah, I agree with that. That's interesting that got open. Let's continue looking here. So our code, I refactored the code a little bit, and the way Catman gets updated, we figure out, given our distance, we run some code that says, well, what direction is Catman going to end up at facing at the end of this amount of time? So from wherever Catman is, we're going to take in a delta, figure out how far Catman needs to travel, and then we want to figure out the next direction Catman will be facing. If Catman is going to be facing the same direction, we can just perform a move. We can just perform a straight move with the Catman. If the Catman will end up changing direction, and this is where it's a little tricky, if the Catman will end up changing direction, we actually have to do a slightly different calculation, which is calculate move with turn. Maybe this could be calculate move with turn. And then we update the player's direction. So this is the Catman's update. And then finally, we do a bounds check on Catman. This is what lets us travel through the wall, Snabble, it's great to see you. Snabble's opinions are undisputable facts. It's true. It's true. If your opinions aren't undisputable facts, are you even trying? Are you even trying? That's really what you got to be asking yourself. 1 second. There we go. BK says, doing inlining CS styling on Firebot is not something I expect that you could do, but it is awesome that it is. Thanks for letting me know about the Firebot. I'm glad you like Firebot. A lot of people are really like, what is it? StreamerBot is the one a lot of people have been using as well. I have found, I feel like I'm a little bit committed to Firebot at this point, but you know, I'm not saying that I won't ever use StreamerBot, but that's what I'm using for now. Now it says, I was at a tech meetup a few days ago, and there was a dev who said, large language models won't cost people more jobs than it will create. Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Hot take. And honestly, I think it's a load of BS. I don't know that it's going to create a lot of jobs. I don't think it's going to take a lot of jobs either. I think it's going to enhance... you know, I think it has potential to enhance. Sijian, welcome back to the stream. Number 13. Number 13. Lucky 13. Not bad. Is 13 a lucky number? If not, it should be, because Sijian, you're a lucky fella. All right, so not too much going on in here. Calculate move with turn might be a better thing here. Okay, so question. I feel like I need a write tests command. So people can force me to write tests, but I'm thinking this probably should be, I could write tests for this. I could write tests for this now. The code is in a place where it's testable. And I think I want to write tests for it. There's another option is we could start adding ghosts. Start adding enemies that move around on the screen. BK says, with automation comes more demands normally. There's a there's a few studies on it. Tech jobs won't disappear, they'll just change shape. We'll see. Well, we can only wait and see. I remember in the 80s when 4th generation language were going to make developers obsolete. Right. Smab, exactly. There's always a prediction with the new stuff of how it's going to eliminate specific roles, specific jobs. And I personally am just not buying it. And that just comes from my personal experience doing software development. It feels unlikely that something that can't actually write particularly good code and gets things wrong so often will actually eliminate a job. I think there's potential for it to enhance jobs. It's like, as someone who's not much of an artist, or who thinks poorly of their own art, but AI can generate some concept art very, very quickly for me, I think that's really cool. Are we on 8th generation languages now? I don't know. Which generation of language is C#? Need Job Coder, welcome back to the stream. Need Job Coders, we have a showcase coming up next week. We have a showcase coming up next week that you're welcome to submit it to. I'd love to see it on next Saturday. You're also welcome to share a link here, but I'm not going to take a look today or at this moment in time. We might look at it after our first break, but we're not going to look at it right now. BK says, I wonder if non-programmers look at AI-generated code like non-artists look at AI-generated art. I think that is what is happening. People who are just starting out coding, they go, oh, wow, this thing's really powerful. This thing's really, really powerful. It's sort of how I feel about the AI art. Oh, it's really powerful. But even I can notice weird, cruddy artifacts, and it's not quite right doing the art. And it's because the way the art is generated isn't by using drawing techniques, isn't by using painting techniques, isn't by using artist techniques for creation. It is just saying, hey, what is, what it's doing pixel compares at the end of the day, saying like, should these pixels go next to each other? And that's sort of what the LLMs are doing is, should these pieces of, should this text go next to each other? What is the chance that this text should fit together? And at the end of the day, that ends up being, for anything non-trivial, becomes very, very hard. I'm not saying it's not useful. I'm just saying that it tends to not work out well for anything non-trivial. Tommy says, I don't think it'll eliminate the entire sector. I just feel like sometimes like a level 1 tech support role, which is basically a knowledge base finder job, won't need as many people with good LLMs and thus will cost more jobs. Maybe. I think we were already sort of starting to see that a little bit. A coworker, Snabble says, in support is really excited over ChatGPT. It enabled him to automate lots of his techniques. Yeah, so I think there is a lot of room for automation. I don't think it replaces jobs, but it increases efficiency. Increased efficiency can replace jobs because then they don't have to hire as, if one person can do the work of 10 people, is that the AI eliminating the job, or is it the company saying, hey, we don't want to have to pay people? I don't know. Blazing Rakuten. Thank you for following me today. We got Blazing Rakuten. Welcome to the crew. Blazing Rakuten. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. BK says jobs will still need to invest in training these level 1 tech jobs, though. Lots of big companies do this through internships. Yeah. I think it's, there's a benefits and then there are consequences, benefits and consequences to it. So what do people want to see? Do you want to see me write some unit tests? I could write unit tests. I'm not unit testing these yet. You want to see some unit tests written, or do we want to start working on the Ghost, prototyping the Ghost AI? I feel like I should probably write unit tests. I just don't know. I feel like a lot of this is going to be reused with our Ghost here. And so the test feels relatively important to be able to make sure the game is still running. Both options are super interesting. Dram says, I want to see some work get done. You're in the wrong place, Dram. When was the last time I got anything done on stream? Let me ask you. Let me gander you a goose. When was the last time I got something done on stream? It's a legitimate question. What do you think? When do you think the last time I got something done on stream? Also, folks, I've been considering Uncovered Just Chatting stream. Yeah. I've been considering moving, readjusting just my layout a little bit. Let's see what you guys think here. I've been considering, here's what I've been considering. I've been considering moving where's my sources? My webcam. I've been considering moving my webcam over here, and then also the chat. Where's the chat? Is that part? Let's see, when I turn off the chat, it's on a different scene here. Where's the chat? Chat, show up. There it is. It's on this one here. So then if we move the chat over here, I've been considering doing this. What do we think? Do you think that, do we like this better? Do we like the chat over here? If I do this, did it actually do anything? There we go. I felt like if I did this, what do we think? Is this too weird? The reason I was gonna do this is for the reason I moved that over there. I feel like less stuff gets blocked if I do this. Oh, so Dram, the whole reason I was gonna do it is so that less code is getting blocked. The reason I wanted to do is less codes. I prefer it on the right, but I think that's because I'm used to it. I feel like less code will get blocked if I put it on the right side. You see what I mean? So now all of my files are hidden, not the code itself. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I moved the code, the file explorer on the right. Does this game have an end state yet? It does not, Dram. Oh, sorry, Smab. It does not have an end state yet. It's definitely gooder. Fresh Meat likes it. We're gonna give it a try. We're gonna leave it here for a little bit. Let me move my head down here. This means I gotta adjust the Ko-fi. Hang on. Let's go back into the sausage here. On our Ko-fi, that little Ko-fi button. Maybe just hide this. That's interesting. That's gonna be interesting. Because there's like text that pops up with this thing. I don't like that. That's gonna be weird. All right, we're gonna just turn off the Ko-fi thing for now. All right, Ko-fi source, go away. All right. Think I like that. Another reason I kind of like this. Let me ask you a question here. Is now it looks. All right, so now when I'm looking at the code, do I look like I don't know. Now I'm not sure I like it or not.
Our dopamine.
Thank you for the. Did the whoa come through? I didn't hear the whoa. Thank you for the dopamine, Dramulks. Oh, you did a hoo-ha. You did a hoo-ha. We gotta do it. We gotta do the whoa there.
Whoa.
What do we think? I don't know. I can't decide if I like it or not. Sorry, Crizzy. Moving the stuff at the bottom flipped as well. Yeah. So maybe we have that. Who knows? We're gonna give it a try. We're gonna see if people hate it. We're gonna see how I feel about it. Some people like change, some people hate change. Anyway. Nya, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. Okay. So yeah, we don't have an end state yet. We could make it so Smab, you're suggesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that you're actually suggesting anything, but we could potentially make it so if all the dots are collected, that the game resets here. We also need like a sort of intro type thing as well. So right now, we don't have all the dots being. If all the dots get collected, the game just keeps going and doesn't end. There's several things left to add. We need to add in fruits. We need to add in enemies. We need to. The enemies are going to be interesting as well, because the Aeon is essentially which direction are they currently moving. I think I can reuse the majority of the Pac-Man code here. The Pac-Man movement for the ghost, we just say, which direction are you currently moving and which direction are you going to move next, and just keep changing the next direction based on some calculation that we can perform. So we get the agent information here. So let's do a refactor. See, I'm about to refactor, so I feel like I need some tests. I'm about to do a refactor here. Oh, this is interesting. I kind of like. You know why I kind of like my face over here on the left is this might be a brilliant move here. I can start. I might actually readjust my screen here to where you guys can't actually see this portion of my screen, because that's where the chat is. And what I could do, because I normally have to look over at another screen to see the chat, is I could actually put the chat here for myself. You like, and then just hide that part of the screen, have it cropped off there. Ooh, we're gonna play around with that. I think I like this. I could also do that on the right side, but I'm used to my chat being over here on the left. Here, let's play around with this real quick. So thank you for hanging out with me while I adjust my stream. This is something I should probably do off stream, but that's okay. Let's I have a little bit more real estate here, because that part of the screen's already being blocked, right? So let's see. 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 I need like a little virtual desktop or something. Hang on, let's adjust. Let's break the stream, everybody. Let's break the stream. Properties here, filters. We're gonna crop out the left. Boom. Go away. The left's coming out. Why is this going so slow? 100. Everyone's. What are you doing, Captain? Everything's breaking. 400. Okay, and then I'll move this over here. Oh, now it's all blank on that side, though. I don't like that right now. I need to add. There'll need to be something there. All right, let's undo. Let's undo. Go away. Come back. Thank you guys for putting up with me. We'll come up with a better solution here. All right. I really like the idea of my chat being there. Oh, I could also just have the chat there and then turn the chat off. I could do that. What do you guys think of that? Maybe we'll do that. I'm not sure. You'll be able to see. Oh no, if something gets moderated, now you'll see the moderation. That's okay. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna leave it alone. But now I know. All right. I don't know. I don't know what I know. I feel like I hate it. All right, let's keep going here. Let's write some tests. Let's write some tests because really at the end of the day, all right, I'm gonna write some static lists. Yeah, it's gonna show moderated stuff, so I actually don't know how I feel about it. Let's put it back here. We'll turn the chat back on. All right. The guy below me stinks. It's true. Too slow. Nice try, BK. All right. So now the weird thing is I feel like my face when I'm working on the code is looking, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some, I need to reposition my camera here. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Let's add in a unit test here. Want to add in a unit test. I want to move all this stuff into I want to do some organization here. Let's create a new folder. We're gonna make a new project. .NET new class lib Capman. Class lib. Let's do an out. I want to move everything that's agnostic to the board, to what's being drawn into a new project. It's gonna be our headless version. Two nerdy nerds, welcome to the stream. Today we got two nerdy nerds. How are you on this beautiful day? Folks, two nerdy nerds, incredible game developers, programmer, artists, together working to create incredible tools, incredible games. Go check them out. See this heart? You got to give them some love, folks. Give them some love. Two nerdy nerds, how have you been? It's great to see you here on this beautiful Saturday. Hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. Thank you for popping in. How did you do in the game jam? Well, I guess the results aren't out yet. You know what? I'm hating this. I'm hating this setup. We're gonna switch it back. We just moved my head over here, and I hate it. I hate it. It's driving me nuts. We're gonna move it back. We're gonna move it back. All right, we're gonna move it back. Captain Coder back on the right side of the screen here. What's weird is why is it that? Is it up? Oh, it's not updating for you guys yet. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. All right, but you guys can see me editing here. Let's move the Firebot here. We're gonna move the chat back over here as well. Well, that one moves. It's interesting. All right, let's come back to generic. All right, I like that. All right, go back just because. Boop. There we go. I can't decide what I want. Judges need a couple more weeks. Yeah, because there's just so many submissions. Also, Menaliki, welcome back to the stream. Great to see you, my friend. Put the Kofi back as well. Yeah, I guess I could do that. All right, and we're back. We're back. Forgot to switch to studio mode there. Okay. Look, we're back. We're normal. Let's put this back on. the right side here. All right, so what are we working on? I'm doing absolutely wonderful. I can wake up and code. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna pull out this logic here into a class. So I'm gonna create a new class here. I don't know if I like it or not. I'm hating everything. Nothing makes sense. Let's do this. All right, I'm gonna create, all right, I created a new project here. I want to, let's go into our Catman Raylib.NET add reference to Catman project. And now I'm gonna move a lot of this logic over here. Anything that doesn't have to do with Raylib, anything that doesn't need Raylib shouldn't be in here. So I'm gonna create a new, this class here. This is gonna be our board. One second, our Catman test, Catman tests. CD Catman tests. .NET add a reference to our Catman project. Okay, so I did write, I did not write any board tests. That's annoying. I did not write any. All right, we're gonna move our board. We're gonna move the board here. This doesn't know anything about Raylib, so we're gonna take our board. Let's go ahead and delete this here. We're gonna start refactoring, reorganizing this project. Move that out. Catman doesn't care. Board render makes sense. Direction, elements. Move those here. Game shouldn't have anything to do with the Raylib itself. Neighbors, positions. All right, pull those out. Program, sprite sheet, wall tile is also part of that. All right, these other things have Raylib components to them. So we're gonna leave those here because they're all using Raylib. The things that aren't using Raylib should be separated out. .NET build, can we build? Will it build, folks? It does build, great. I want to add in a default namespace here. I'm surprised that worked on the first try. CSproj specify namespace. I said, why? I never. Yeah, we only got one hat redeemed today. We had two. We had one on when I was over on Grumpy Game Dev stream. We only had one hat redeemed. So I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm absolutely wonderful, Art. I mean, in general, I do wonderful. How are you, Art? Thank you so much for popping in. Great to see you. Can we specify a namespace that everything in this project, like a default namespace? CSproj specify default namespace. How to set the default namespace in a project? I just need to remember root namespace. It's called root namespace. Smap, how do you feel about default namespaces? Should they be used? Should we not use them? Yeah. Catman. This let me change it pretty easily if I decide to change the name of my project. Nice to see you yesterday. Never had the time. Oh, Art, never worry. Don't ever worry about that. You know, it's always interesting when I'm in other streams. I always feel a little bit guilty. Maybe I shouldn't. This is like my childhood trauma coming back. I feel guilty when people give me shout outs in their stream. I'm like, I feel like people think I'm coming to their stream to get a shout out or something. So I, you know, so never feel obligated. Never feel obligated to do that. So this will cause things to break in these other ones, or it should, because now I have to use a using namespace Catman and those other ones. Oh, I don't. That's interesting. That is interesting to me. That is interesting. So that didn't seem to, I was expecting things to break when I did that. We're just not going to use it for now. And we're not going to use it for now. All right, this is the logic of our game. Let's write some unit tests. I think it's going to be important to have some unit tests for this as we move forward. Specifically, I want to be able to have our movement logic abstracted out so that our ghosts can also use it. I want our ghosts to also be able to use this movement code. Yeah, Art, I don't know why I feel that way, and I don't think that is what anyone is really feeling. It's the same reason when I used to go to your stream, I was super scared. Not scared, super concerned about like saying, oh yeah, I also stream, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't want to detract from your stream. I don't want to distract from your stream. I feel similar here on this stream. I want people to be, I want to create a community for people to share and work together. And if someone streams, that's why I created the streamer section on my Discord. Yeah, I want to, Nameless Coder, welcome back. I would like to work on some Ghost AI today. I don't know if we're actually gonna get there, if I'm gonna ramble for hours and not actually write any code. We're doing a refactor right now. Refactor. Move Catman logic to a separate project. I'm doing absolutely wonderful, Nameless Coder. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well also. But welcome here. Happy Saturday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. So we have our calculate move. All right, so right now it's in the game here. And I feel like I want to do something. My rows and columns have been driving me crazy, so I kind of want to do a refactor here as well. For position right now is row and column. I feel like it needs to be an X and a Y. And so SMAB's probably going to be, why is this global here? That's interesting that this is here. SMAB's going to be, I don't know if SMAB's going to be, I feel like SMAB should be able to say, I told you so. SMAB, if you want to say I told you so, feel free to do so, because you told me so. Let me ask, is there an easy way? We only have 18 references to this. It shouldn't be too horrible. I don't want to say it. Okay. You don't want to say it, but you did tell me so. Congratulations on number 15, Nameless Coder. So the challenge that I'm having with it, Art, is and it's because I mixed my rows and columns with my Raylib code. My rows and columns with my Raylib code is, in Raylib they use X and Y, and so now I've mixed row and column and X and Y throughout my code. And part of me wants to refactor this as row is yeah. How did you just delete global on all those lines? Ah, great question. Great question. I was using the multi-cursor technique. So in VS Code, if you hold down Control and Alt, you can create multiple cursors. So I've added multiple cursors so I can edit this all at the same time. All right, so I'm gonna do multiple cursors. You can also, I think if you hold down Alt and click, you can put them in arbitrary places, which is probably not what you want. So you can also do that. Exactly, SMAB. So it's the order of parameters is different, right? It's really confusing throughout my code because I have row and column and X and Y sort of interchanged throughout. Let me see if that's actually true. I don't know that yeah, double X and Y here. So I want to do and this is where I say, like, I need to write a test. I want to do a major refactor and I have no tests. And so I kind of want to add in tests to give me confidence that this thing is going to continue functioning correctly. So I'm going to write some tests. Let's make sure this project is still loading. Yeah, so here we have, this is the renderer. It actually is rendering it out. Let's write some tests. I do want to do a refactor. and then we'll see how we do. We'll see how we do. So let's write some tests. And it's looking really nice. The movement was tricky. I want to pull. I did make the graphics myself. We used some Aseprite here to make the Capman animation here. So we did make it. When you get the ghost, I found this when I was looking to start the project. Cool. Smab, awesome. Let me bookmark that and then forget about it immediately. But I am bookmarking it. Thank you. All right, so we got that bookmarked. Yeah, pretty much. That is correct. Let's write one of the refactors I want to do is change this to a position. But position, there's like two types of position. There's an integer version, there's a double version. Let's write test. Before I start getting crazy.
You in the back.
Rap time!
Pay attention.
Welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you here, my friend. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Let's write some tests. I feel like this code is in the wrong spots. But let's go with it for now. I feel like a fool. I didn't realize that he's supposed to be your alter. Do you possess a Fez? I do not. We were gonna give. So for what it's worth, I started out with just a Pac-Man circle, and then everyone in the stream was like, "No, it needs a hat. It needs an eye. It needs a beard." So this is what we ended up with. And someone said, "Give Calfman a Fez," and they're like, "Okay." I plan to make it so that way there are hats that you pick up. So you're going to swap out your hats and they're going to give you different abilities, assuming we ever make it that far. So that's kind of the idea, is to have different abilities depending on what you're wearing. Have a speed hat or power ups or power downs depending on the hat. So they'll affect you in some way. Devro, great to see you, my friend. How the heck have you been? I hope you've been well. Let's write a test. New file here. I like the way Grumpy Game Dev writes tests, and so we're gonna go with I want to write tests that do our moves here. And so game should.cs. I like this sort of style here. I don't know if I really like it or not, but the reasoning behind it is pretty good. Game should. Okay. And we're going to say should. And I want to test our movement. So what are the cases that I'm looking to test here? Let's open up our game logic. And there are a couple things that are tricky. Let's go public void game should move Capman actor when space is clear. Okay, so the idea here is I want to set up a board. That our Pac-Man can move down and be inside of. So I'm going to create a board here, new board. Board accepts an ASCII layout. And so an ASCII layout, it looks like this. Let's give it just a little strip for the Pac-Man to move down. All right, for our actor to move down. I'm a little... Let's go to our board here. One thing that makes this tricky to write is that we have specified our walls in this weird way. It's not super weird, but we have specified our walls using these characters that make it slightly difficult to, in my mind, to actually draw out here. Like this. And let's go ahead and create a board here. Like the naming of your test class, I might borrow the naming convention if I start writing tests. I really like it. I got this from the Grumpy Game Dev, and so it said, game should move actor when space is clear. Yeah, so these are posted in the chat there. We're using special characters. We found this board. Someone found this board on the internet and sent it to me. So these characters, I kind of have to copy and paste them to draw them in here. So I'm just gonna make a really simple board here that's just like an empty square that I can do basic movement in for this test, to test very specific things about it. Keeping in mind that eventually I might want to use this as a class project. So it turns out this is not going to be a project that I use in like a beginner class, maybe an intermediate class, but really this is quite challenging. They make really nice looking text graphics. I would agree with that. So we have a board here. This should initialize a board that has these 3 spots. I'm going to put the Pac-Man in this position here. So this is where the Pac-Man's going to start, and he's going to be moving to the right. That's going to let me do to the right, to the left, and then I'm gonna do another one for up and down. Move actor when space is clear, space, move actor to right when space is clear. All right, so the idea being that I can create a Catman now, Catman actor. And this is where this interface, I'm feeling like I need an interface for this. Should be a new Catman. Using the namespace defined. Did I not? Let's see if this is .NET build. I may not have added this as a reference. Catman is a namespace, but it's used like a type. Oh. I really think this should be called an actor. I've been feeling that way for a while from the beginning. Is the logic here isn't specific to the Pac-Man anyway. I'm gonna rename this actor. And hopefully that doesn't kill too many things. Okay, so we have an actor. Catman is an actor in the scene. Let's set the position here. All right, so the position should be actor.x is going to be 1. And actor.y is going to be 1. Actor.direction, current direction equals right. And their next direction is also right. So turns out this doesn't matter as much as this. So I can get rid of next direction. Next direction tells us whether or not we can actually turn. And what I can do now, what I'm hoping to test is game.calculate move, okay, on our board. Oh, this is even more interesting here because there isn't our calculate move. Calculate. I was smart here. Our calculate move actually doesn't have an actor at all. I don't even need an actor in this test. Calculate move. Given a direction, given a board, the direction we're moving, our start position and distance, where do we end up? So it's not even move actor. It's like game should, and then we have this calculate move. G, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for popping in. Take care of yourself. And you're welcome back anytime. I'll be back tomorrow, but I hope you have a beautiful day. So if we're moving to the right and we're at position 1, 1, and we move 1, we should end up in this spot here. That's the idea. Okay, so given this here, we move 1, 1, we end up in the spot there. And we get our result back. Double new x, double new y. Like this. And I want to basically assert that the value is the x and y, we got moved 1 space to the right. That space is free, we move 1 space to the right. We're in double land, and so we need to do some sort of epsilon checking, like within 0.1 or something along those lines. So in this case, we can do a new x dot should be in range. Is in range what I want? In range. Oh, there's no comment on that. From, so it like I'm basically want to say should be between 0.99 and 1.01. Like this should be in range between those. Sorry, it actually should be 1.99 and 2.01. Really, we're adding in this value. This is the distance traveled. Because we're doing floats, we want to do it with an epsilon. Let me see. Shouldly C sharp double compare. Board.calculate move. Ooh, I really like that, Smab. I really like that. An extension method on board feels really good. We're gonna write these tests here. I agree. I agree. Either an extension method or just like a member variable of it. Let's look at all of the moves on it to see how we feel about it. Art was saying we had a peculiar situation yesterday. Essentially, the code that you wrote got different results in the debugger and release mode. The makes pointer function updates the integer. Seemingly, in the debugger, the integer used as index was updated or evaluated later so that it worked, but it seemingly evaluated first in release mode. This is in, oh, that's interesting. Mako hypothesized that it is an undefined behavior. I think I need to see the full code of what make pointer is doing and what get int is doing. There's likely some optimization. So my initial thought is there may be some kind of optimization happening here that in release mode it's applying somehow to this call. The make pointer function updates the integer retrieved by getInt. Seemingly in the debugger, yeah, there's some optimization that it's trying to apply, is my guess. And so when you're in debug mode, there's fewer optimizations. In release mode, it's trying to do more optimizations. That's my initial thought. I'm not a C. I think Art is doing C programming. I'd have to see the full code to give you more, to have a better intuition. Shouldly. I want to see what Shouldly's documentation is saying here. Doubles. Numeric should be, okay, so we can give an epsilon in our should be. All right, so I could do should be 2 with an epsilon 0.01. Tolerance, okay. This isn't a C program. Yeah, my guess is there's some compiler optimization that's happening. Smab, I really like your idea of making this an extension of the board class. Public static class board extensions. And we will, so Smab, I have a question for you. Do you think it should be an extension or should it actually be in the board class itself? Do a this. And we could actually do board.calculate move. And this becomes a board. Here, we'll change this to our board test. It depends, I know. Board should. I'm gonna change this to board should. Board should allow move when space is empty. All right, but calculate move here, given a 1, we can move that way. And part of this feels like we should. Yeah, I actually really like extension methods in this interesting way. You can say, oh, I want to swap out that functionality without doing subclassing, right? So I might have previously done in the board and say, well, this is an interface and you want to implement it with extensions. You can say, well, actually, I want to use that. It's really interesting. I don't know how I completely feel about it. Yeah, I don't have complete thoughts on how I feel about it. As an extension method, it's pretty good. Board.calculate move. I do like it being a method of board, right? Smab, I tend to actually be a big fan of functional programming. I think you already know that. And I've sort of like wiggled back and forth between it quite a bit. Yeah. Okay, so allow move when space is empty. This should be a, I'm gonna do a inline data here, and I actually want to just give this the arguments here. So I'm gonna give a small board argument here, int of double start x double start y double. Oh, this is interesting here because now we have to do double end y double end x. I think this is okay. This feels like a lot to put here, but like direction moving here. Okay. This feels a lot to have as arguments, but I think I'm okay with it. This becomes moving. We could also just call it direction. This is our start x, start y, distance. Then our end y and end x, and this should be end x, end y. Okay. It's a lot to put in here. I'm not sure this reads super well. Oh, you sent me a message on Discord. I remember you saying you sent me some. Ooh. This looks great. This channel represents my current favorite approach to C# at the moment. Thank you for this. I'm gonna have to watch this off stream, of course. Maybe not, of course. You're gonna send me down the rabbit hole of madness. The rabbit hole of trying to decide how I want to program. Yeah. Of what programming style I like. Okay, let's make a slightly bigger, here, rather than doing this crazy thing, let's make a slightly bigger board here. We'll do a 3x3 board. 3x3 board. And now I can say theory. And this should be a theory. And this inline data should be move right. Start in 1, 1 for 1. We should end up at 2, 1 here. I'm not sure this reads super well. And in fact, I'm not, X, Y, D, X, Y. I'm not sure this actually helps or not. Make sure that allow move right when, you know, so I'm not sure. Left, if we start at, this would be 3. We should end up at 2. Down, we should end up at 2. Up, and let's start at 3, 3. Should end up at 2, 3. Let's give some decimals in here as well. So let's try moving point, 1, which is going to be much closer to how much we're actually moving. And so this should be 1.1, 2.9, 2.9. Hang on, this moving down. So it goes to 2. This would be 1.1. This should be 2.9. Okay. So I feel like I have a decent test here. I don't like that these are not lined up. Okay. Okay. And as soon as I do a format, it's going to fix those, unformat it for me. Let's run a test. Looks like we have a compilation error. In our game, we now can do board dot. Board dot. Popcorn! Welcome back to the stream. How are you today? Popcorn. Hope you're having a beautiful day. What are you up to, my friend? It's great to see you. And .netters. We got the .netters. Captain Coder and the .netters. All right, so we're failing. Should be within 0.01, but was. All right, let's take a look at this. This is interesting. Went to a concert last night. I hope you had fun. Awesome. Okay, let's look here. Boom, we have our X, we have our Y. It's our end X and end Y. When we are at position 1, 1, and we move to the right a full 1, we should end up at X, 1. So I'm surprised that this one, some of them passed, some of them failed. Got it. That one passed. I actually think that one fails. Why? Also, why do I have... I must have written some test somewhere, it looks like. End X is 2. Somehow I just typed these backwards. Karen Park, a Swedish lady. Very cool. I've not heard of this person. But I hope it was beautiful music. Or fun music, or whatever type of music you like. I hope it was that type of music. Okay. So more pass. Let's look at which tests are passing here. Reading from the terminal is impossible. Hero Fox, congratulations on number 16. Welcome back to the stream. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay. Let's run our board test so we can see which ones are failing, so I can actually identify it here. Okay. So when our arguments are why is this so hard to read? Start. All right, so I wish. All right, so our start x is it's down 3 1.1.1. When we're moving down, I just have our x shouldn't change here. That's the problem. Our x shouldn't change here on these up and downs. 3, 3. So I just gave incorrect information here. And I probably gave incorrect information here. Hero Fox, we're still working on the Pac-Man inspired game. We are currently writing tests for our movement because I want to do a refactor. So we're writing tests to make sure when I refactor my movement that it doesn't break anything. So this last one here, it's up 3, 3, 1, 3, 3. So if I start at 3, 3, and I move up, I don't get 0.29. That's interesting that that is happening. I did fix the jumping. Also, Fozzie, welcome back to the stream. Let's take a look at what it is, how it's failing here. And I'll show you it in a second. So we're writing tests here to make sure it's maintained there. Was within 3, but was 2. Distance 1. Okay, so it's actually this one here. This one here. I just need a 2 here. If we're moving up, I wrote the wrong test here. If we move up here by a distance of 1, our y should become 2. I just wrote the wrong inputs here. If it's tricky to write correct test, then you definitely need test. Yeah. So I don't think it's tricky to write the test. It's just I'm too dumb to... It's because I did some copy paste. Basically, I did copy paste. If I had manually thought it out, I don't think it would have been that bad. So Pac-Man can't jump, but we had some glitchiness. Let me show you here. It's a little hard to show. I don't have the last version. But I'll show you. I'll try and explain it here. Also, Fozzie, I don't know, said welcome back. Happy to have you here, Fozzie. Welcome back to the stream. So previously, let me pause the game here. Oh, I exited the game. Sorry. Try it one more time. All right, so here we are. Pac-Man is on a grid, or Capman is on a grid, and Capman knows, or in the game, Capman has a row and column that Capman is in, but also this XY position, which is floating point. You'll notice there's a 0.1 in here, there's a 0.0 here. As Capman moves up, we can actually change the next direction Capman wants to move. So we queue up. If I press left here, Capman wants to go left, but shouldn't actually go left until they reach this intersection. Calculating that is interesting and a little bit challenging. We're not doing a pixel by pixel implementation. What you could do is say, well, move Pac-Man 1 pixel at a time, and then when we're within a couple pixels, this is what the original game does. It says if you're within 3 pixels of this intersection, move Pac-Man. And this actually makes it so that Pac-Man moves at a slight diagonal around corners if you queue it. So Pac-Man will move a slight diagonal around a corner if you queue it up, so that it gives a little boost. My version doesn't have this. Mine, as he's coming around, we actually... Oh, hang on. There we go. We actually calculate based on the distance here. It says distance to move. Let's say we have our distance to move is 0.2. Okay. We have to check, or the way I do it is we actually check to say, if I were to make this move, will I cross the center point? So I ask this question, will I cross the center point? And then what I do is say, if yes, change direction, move to center of row, move the remaining distance to the left. So we actually, in my mind, have fixed or changed this feature. So I actually have to calculate how much distance I move around this corner so that Pac-Man's velocity stays the same. So that is how my implementation works. I'll get rid of the chat there so you can kind of see that. My implementation works a little bit differently. So if the move would cross and I'm saying I want to go to the left, go ahead and do it. So we have fixed that or implemented that here. So Pac-Man moves and doesn't hop any frames, doesn't skip any frames. There is one bug in my code or in my implementation is that I always assume Pac-Man's never gonna move more than one space per frame. And it turns out if I hold the screen here, you'll see Pac-Man teleported. The game is still running when I have this. So it's like the frame, it stops drawing, but the timer keeps going. And when I let go, Pac-Man moves a bunch of distance because the distance is based off the amount of time that's passed since the last frame. So there's one weird thing I'll have to do. I think this is a Raylib thing though. So this doesn't have anything to do with it. I need to, yeah, it's a feature wrap time so we can teleport through walls if we wanted to. I haven't quite thought about exactly how I want to fix this. I might make it so that you're never allowed, make yourself an issue to fix it. I think I did in the README. Yeah. So I do have a known bugs here in my README. Maybe I should make it a GitHub issue. But if the distance moved is greater than 1, it's possible to move through walls. So I did write this one down, Smab. So I'll forget about it, but my README might remind me. But there is an issue. I could make a GitHub issue on it. All right, so I think we passed those. Okay. So this is the plane moving. We want to add in another one. Public void move to wall when board should move to empty space when attempting to move through wall. I don't know if this is the best description here. So what I want to do is say if I'm in this space here or near this space here and I try to move to the right, I don't allow it. So it might be does not allow move when space is wall. That's probably a better description. So we're gonna write a test here that says, given a direction, our start X, our start Y, and the distance, where should we end up? We use this same board here. And get rid of that. In this test, I want to say, it's sort of the same thing. We're gonna calculate the move, but the input should be in. Tuber Tugger, when your method names are your PhD thesis, yeah. So board should, so these are test names, right? So I think of these as test names, and test names should be long. They should be descriptive, in my opinion. And so we've named our class in a way that hopefully helps us that. And also when you see a test method, you should know, oh, hey, I shouldn't really be calling this thing. There's an external tool somewhere doing this. They're special. They're special. So let me not, I'm gonna copy this a little bit. Popcorn says F# allows you to write method names with spaces in them, makes tests look good. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Tuber says, how's it? That hat is looking nice today. Thank you. Thank you, Tuber Tugger. Yeah, we've only got one hat redeemed, so it does look nice. When we get a lot of hats, sometimes it looks a little insane. I start looking like a crazy person. But thank you. All right, so theory here, when we're moving to the right, the idea being that if I'm in position 3, let's go position 2.5. All right, so I'm gonna start in position 2.5. I'm gonna put decimals on all of these so that they line up nicer. Put a decimal on all of them. They should line up okay-ish. I'm gonna say if I'm at 2.5, I should end up at 3 here. Nameless Coder, thank you for the hat redeem. Thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack. Just in time, Dev Dad. We just got a hat redeem. Happy Saturday, Dev Dad. How the heck is it going? Thank you so much for the raid. Holy cannoli. Dev Dad, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get another hat on here. Dev Dad, how are you embedding your life? Are you embedding yourself? Now available. Drop some links. Drop some links, Dev Dad. We got it. Trooper Tugger, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's add a hat to this stack here. I don't have links. Whoa, thank you. We're embedding. Drop links to the Apple Store, to the Android Store, because I don't have them set up here yet. So let's give a shout out here to the Dev Dad. Dev Dad. I think I have to type the whole thing out. Dev Dad. No, there it is. Credible streamer, software developer, father, making embedder out on Android. Go give it some love. Go give it some love here. Yeah. So thank you so much, Dev Dad, for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you again for the raid. Amazing stuff. If you're new here, if you don't know who I am, I'm Captain Coder. Captain Coder is me, and me is Captain Coder. I teach computer science and education. My full job is teaching computer science and programming at a school for ages 10 to 14. You're wearing hats. You must be a startup founder. I've only been a founder of 2 startups. I've been involved in a couple. Startups are hard. Dreddy Fire. Thank you for following me today. Dreddy Fire, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome aboard. Dev Dad, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for being here. Folks, go check out Embedder. It's a habit-forming app. Give it some love and give the Dev Dad some feedback on it, because he wants to embedder the Embedder app. Startups are super hard. Yeah, for sure. Smab is suggesting we rename these. Instead of XY, try start. This is just... you're suggesting I do it just here. This is just distance. So you're suggesting I just put this comment at the top like this. Is that what you're suggesting? You're not actually suggesting I change these names. I just put this here because it was like hard. It's a lot of arguments here. It's hard to read. Dev Dad, we're working on our Pac-Man game. We're writing tests. I know how much you hate tests. But we're writing them. All right. I'm just kidding. Makes the arguments more obvious. Yeah, I agree. So we're gonna do an up here, and if we're in position 1, we try. Let's start a little bit lower. Let's start at position 2. This is our center. Let's start at position 1.5, and we're gonna travel up 1 space. And we should end up at position 1 here. Okay. If Dad says in another dimension, I have 100% test rate. Is there anybody who likes writing tests? So I don't think I dislike writing tests. I find tests very satisfying to write. I just often don't know what I don't know the domain of my problem, and I kind of have I know my domain now here. Let's try going left. We're at position 1.5. I'm gonna swap these out here. Like the outfit of your game, Dev. You're wearing many hats. It's true, Gameford. I am wearing many hats. I do wear many hats, especially when people ask me to wear them. Is AI claiming to be able to write decent tests these days? I'm daily baffled by how good Copilot is. I find that Copilot's, I don't use it. I find that it doesn't do very good at getting things correct. I have to fix it. Anytime I use it, I feel like I actually spend more time fixing the problems than the benefit I gain from it. Personally. Okay. Direction up. Let's go with down next. So we're going down. Art of Zed. I do use VS Code. I think that there are better tools for doing .NET development. So we should end up at position 2, 3. Fuel Sample says, seems to be kind of a hard divide because those that love Copilot and those that don't see the point. I see the point. I see what it's trying to do. My complaint with it is that it ends up being more work. And I think a study and studies are deceptive, right? Studies are deceptive. I think a study recently came out that showed you end up with more and I don't know how they determine this. Look, I don't want to spread misinformation. Supposedly, this should be 3 and 1 here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Let me focus just for a moment. 1, 1. Left. 1, 1 up. Down. All right, I'm trying to keep this not too complex. Okay. I want to start writing API tests in .NET Core 8. I think it's a good idea to have tests. It's often really good. The version makes a big difference in success rate. I'm sure that's true. Smab, you're correct that ChatGPT 4 is leagues ahead. It's better trained. It has more feedback that's been given to it. Let's do 0.29. Let's change this to do 0.2 movements here. Tuber Tugger asked, I'm a self-taught programmer that's been working professionally for many years. I'm looking to actually get my CS degree. What steps do you consider for part-time learning? Let me ask you, what benefit do you think getting a degree would give you? I'm not saying that there are no benefits. My question is, what are the benefits to you? Why do you want the degree? What is the outcome you're hoping to have by getting that degree? Okay, so if I'm moving to the right, I'm at position 2.9, moving 0.2. I want to end up at position 3, 1. If I'm moving to the left, and I'm at position 1.1, and I move 2 to the left, I should end up at position 1.0. If I'm moving up and I'm at the top left corner, I'm slightly down from the top left corner, and I move up 0.2, I should hit a wall and end up at 1.1. If I'm moving down and I'm at the bottom minus a small amount, I should end up at the bottom. Okay. Let's run these tests. Let's see how we did. And I'm not doing test-driven development here. I have already written an implementation. I want to perform a refactor. And so I'm adding tests to give me some sanity checks on my refactor. Okay, so my tests pass here. So these pass my sanity check. So we can move into empty space. We can hit walls. Now the turns are really interesting. Here. Because there's a slightly different method that we need to look at here. Let me do a commit. Feat, or I don't know if it's a feat, more of a chore. Add unit tests for calculate move. Okay. Mostly a feather in my hat to prove I can do it. It's on my bucket list. I don't suspect it will improve my career at this rank, just for personal satisfaction. I would, my feeling in that regard is if it's just for personal satisfaction, it's a very expensive check to tick off. It's going to be, even at, if you want to get a bachelor's of science, you know, just to check it off, my thoughts, I'm not even saying these are my recommendations, my thought is it's a very expensive check to mark off. It's a very expensive check to mark off. The cost, is the cost worth the check mark? If you're, and you're saying like, how can you do it? I would probably look at online schools if it's just to get that check mark. Look for accreditation, and online would be the two things I'd look for. And programs that let you take it slowly in increments. Let me ask you another question, Tuber Tugger. Do you have a degree of some sort already? Because I know many people when I was in graduate school, I know of many people when I was in graduate school who didn't do computer science as their undergrad, but came back to school to get it as a master's in computer science. And that is an option at many schools, is if you already have a degree, you've already been in the field somewhere else, but you've learned programming or computer science, you're doing some analytic stuff, going back to school for a computer science master's is actually a lot cheaper, and because master's programs tend to be 2 years instead of 4. Roger Dev, welcome back to the stream. How you been, my friend? It's great to see you here. How is your project coming along, folks? Roger Dev is creating a really cool game. Give him some love. Go check him out. You want to check out this game? Here, Roger Dev, I'm going to pull up your profile real quick because super cool stuff going on over there. Roger Dev, you got a link to your YouTube by any chance? Permit? I don't have it off the top of my head here, but this game looks so cool. This game looks absolutely wonderful. If you like it, it's a city simulation game. Look at the beauty of this game. Look how beautiful it is. And it's an Unreal Engine, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, in Unreal Engine. This game looks really pretty. I like the game Banished. There's a game I play called Banished. It looks a lot like the game. Roger was telling me when I was on his stream that, yeah, it's inspired by the game Banished. Unreal Engine 4 gotcha. Looks really cool. Looks really cool. If you like strategy games, city building games, if you've played the game Banished and you want more games like that, go check him out. Give him some love. Modprox, I guess my view on this was a bit distorted living in a country with free universities. Yeah, if you, the cost. So all I'm saying is the cost is a really important thing to consider, because if you're going to get a bachelor's degree in computer science at a top school, it's going to be like 100,000 USD, which is expensive. You know, I went to school for free. I did not pay for my higher education. I personally did. Someone paid. I personally did not pay. I had scholarships that covered it all the way through my graduate experience. In grad school, I was under a research assistantship where I was doing research, and that was, you know, I wasn't paying for it. In fact, in grad school, I had a salary. I had a salary there. Banish is a really cool game. I really like it. So this is our calculate move. I'm pretty happy with how that has turned out. The bounds check might be the, you know, this feels weird here, giving the actor, this needs to be refactored. Absolutely, this is why I suggest, this is what I was thinking graduate school might be better. Graduate school, there's a lot more money in graduate research and stuff. I don't know. Raptine, I was lucky enough, I lived in a state where if you graduated high school and you went to a state college, you got a 4-year scholarship as long as you maintained I'm very happy I did that. As long as you maintained a like 3.2 or above GPA, they'd pay for 4 years of your college. So that, I don't think you have to be smart to get a B's. I don't think you have to be smart. In fact, I think in university, if you don't have B's, B, you have to have like an 80, at least at my undergrad, you had to have an 83% for it to count as credits on your transcript. Ryan, welcome back to the stream. Great to have you here. I don't think smart has anything to do with it. I think determination and perseverance has a lot more to do with it, in my opinion. All right, calculate the turn is an interesting method I've written. Next direction is a simpler thing to test. And we're gonna write that test next, I believe. Although calculate turn relies on next direction. In fact, should be calculate move with turn. More specifically, this is like a really interesting method here. Roger says, here in Spain, each university have an X number of seats for that, but depends on each university. That's interesting. Popcorn says, I once did hiring for a company. A person without experience in C# came in. I asked him to do a Pluralsight class and just pass their evaluation with 7%. Plus, he did so over the weekend. Smab, oh, absolutely. When I was writing these, that they are extension methods. They're extension methods of board. When you said that, I was like, oh, absolutely, you're right. You're absolutely right. Board should be here on all of these, and they should become extension methods. You're absolutely right. And I'm really glad you said that, because I was feeling like it felt really weird that they were here, and saying that they're extensions of board feels really correct to me. So we're gonna actually move these out here. Bounds check needs to be different. I think bounds check needs to be rewritten. Let's do this here. We're gonna make these extension methods like this. And we're gonna come in here, we're gonna update this to be board dot and board dot. Let's run the game. I don't have test, but I can run the game and make sure nothing feels crazy. Okay, so things feel like they're working. I don't know why it would break that by doing that, but I just want to do a quick sanity check more than anything. Tuber Tugger, I'm thinking that I'm learning slowly over 10 years part-time that cost comes down per year, and if I find minor scholarships, leverage my employer, I can bring down. If you can get your employer to pay for it, that's not a bad thing. Tuber Tugger, neither do I, but we voted on it. People voted to make the Pac-Man. I asked people, do you want Pac-Man to be, because we're using a rotation here. People voted. This is what the people wanted. All right. Attention all lurkers. We are going to do a vote. Do we want to overrule here? Here's the vote. Here are your options. Do we want Pac-Man to be upside, to rotate when we're moving? So look at Pac-Man's moving. Do we want Pac-Man to rotate or flip? Rotate or flip. One in the chat if you would like to keep the current state where Pac-Man rotates for turns. Option two in the chat if you would like to refactor so that Pac-Man does not go upside down. One, do not change. Two, change to flip. One's in the chats for do not change, two's for flips. Two, I got 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 6 twos, 7 twos. Only 1. Everyone wants to change that. Last time we took a vote, it's a very different crowd today. Smirkin' Squiggly, welcome back to the stream, by the way. It's a very different. Last time we took a vote, I think it was like 10 here, and I think we got 0 votes last time for the flip. I think people just thought it was funny. Upside down both ways. All right, so we're gonna change it. We're gonna add that as a thing. All right, so the crew voted. Someone clip it. Someone just hit the clip for me, so that way when people come in, they get upset. I can point them to the clip. Someone hit clip for me, please. To do fix Pac-Man, Capman to flip rather than rotate. Someone get me a clip of that, please. I need to put a link in here. We voted on it. We've active minority rules that whimsically made. You got the active minority. The active minority is who I cater to at that moment. The active minority. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to hit the clip button. All right, we just click. I clicked clip. Hopefully it was there. At least we'll have it close. Good to see you, Smirkin' Squiggly. Happy to have you here. Code Monk, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got overruled there. Look, democracy in action. This is what when they say democracy in action, this is what they mean, right? Smab had said something. I want to see. Does it all look like extension? I think what you are passing there may be player rather than all of its properties. Correct, Smab. I think this should be an actor here. This is the refactor I was talking about. I want to refactor this to an actor. It's the actor here and then the distance that they travel. So these are all properties of an actor, but it's not the actor itself. These are properties of an actor. And so I'm gonna keep it this way, and then we're gonna encapsulate that into the actor type. Maybe we could just rewrite it now. What do we think? Let's do the refactor now, actually. Let's do the refactor now. At least for calculate move. Oh, you want me to write the I was gonna do it just for calculate move. We finished writing calculate move. Do you think it would be okay to do it for this one? We wrote it, or should we want to write all the tests? Let's write all the tests. We'll write all the tests. Look, I'm skipping steps. I just want to get to the ghost writing. Tuber says, I've worked with thank you so much for the clip, Ryan. All right, we're gonna get back to that question here. Ryan, I appreciate it. Points, and Ryan, 500 points, appreciate it. Tuber Tugger says, or asks, I've worked with actual engineers who have their mechanical engineering degree. Where I live, graduates wear a symbolic iron ring on their finger. I've always been that's a reason to do it. Writing tests is writing code that saves you headaches later. 90% of the time, I agree. 90% of the time. Folks, we've been going for a while. It turns out we're going to take a first break here. When we come back, we're going to finish, hopefully, writing more unit tests for the remaining. I'm going to do calculate move with turn next. All right. We're going to take a quick break. Oh, no worries, Tuber Tugger. No worries on that. I just thought because there was a cue there. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. I need to get myself some more bean water. I'm going to get myself some more fresh water. I'm completely out. We're going to come back. We're going to hop in. We're going to write some more Pac-Man tests. Don't go anywhere. Captain Coder will return. Hang tight, everybody. See you soon. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for hanging tight. We are back. Hope you didn't miss me. I hope you missed me. No, I hope you didn't miss me too much.
You in the back.
We're gonna get
Pay
some stretches
attention.
in, folks. Captain Coder, every hour you're programming, you're hunched over, you're at a computer. You gotta take care of yourself. So I try and take a break every hour, 90 minutes. 2 hours tops is usually my limit. We're gonna take a break here. We're gonna get up and move. I'm gonna encourage you to stand up with me, get that blood moving a little bit, get some stretches in. Let's start off with a trunk twist. We do reset the hats. Once we made every break, we reset the hats. We do a stack dot clear. So take those arms. I want you to stand up with me, arms at the side. Let's do a trunk twist. Happy to have you here. If you can't stand up, no problem. Do a stretch that's good for you. Maybe just get that blood moving. We do a trunk twist, arms at the side. We're gonna rotate back, and forth, back and forth. I'll stand up and do some chores. Yeah, just get up and move around. You know, it doesn't have to be stretching. Just get up and move around. Get that blood flowing. Get those arms up. Lean. Oh yeah. Lean. Oh, it's a good stretch. You know, when I don't stream, it's not true that I don't stretch when I don't stream, but I often stretch when I do stream, and then days when I'm not doing much, I end up not getting the good stretches. That's just some shoulder rolls. Take those shoulders, move them up, back, and down. We're gonna roll them back. 2, 3, 4. We're gonna add the elbows. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, full arms. 2, 3, 4, roll them forward. And 2, 3, 4, add the elbows. 2, 3, 4, full arms. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Oh, shake it out. Shake it out. Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good to be alive? Doesn't it feel good to take some time? Love yourself. Love that body. Oh, let's get a points at all. Thank you guys so much for joining me. 100 points to all you beautiful people. Dr. D.I. Dr. D.I. Thank you for following me. Dr. D. Thank you for the follow. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a beautiful day. We're going to hop back in here. We're finishing up. We're trying to write some unit tests. No, thank you. So here we are. We're working on our Pac-Man inspired game here. Writing some unit tests. We just wrote tests for our calculate turn. Let's write we wrote tests for our calculate move. I want to write I want to rename this calculate move with turn. Calculate move with turn. Maybe it's named terribly, but calculate turn felt wrong. This is going to take in the direction the player's moving and their distance, and then the direction that they want to be moving, and then we're going to say, can we move that direction? Can we move that direction? So let's write a test for that. Come into our board here. And this test, we're going to come up with a slightly different board here. Public void can public board should allow move when intersection is open. Okay. Allow move when the intersection is open. The one type of difference here with this input, oh Smab, if you're still here, I wrote the methods specifically this way because I wanted to be able to write theories for them. I'm remembering why I didn't have it taken an actor. I remember now why I didn't had it taken an actor. I wanted to be like, oh, I want to be able to specify just these data so that I don't have to construct an object and I can actually do them as constants here. We will write an extension of that takes in the actor. I remember now. I remember there was a reason I did it that way. It's like, why did I do, anyway. Direction next. I can still do, I can't make them constants, can I? Oh, you're just saying I construct my actor with those? You create your actor in the method? That makes sense. Inside of the test. That's true. That's true. Let's direction. You know what? I actually feel like this will be a little bit better to put these at the end. Current and next. I don't know why, but this is getting a little bit horrific. How do you guys feel about this? Okay. The reason I'm putting these at the end is so that they'll line up a little bit better. Okay. And this test. That makes sense, Smab. I like that. Direction dot right. Really, we can only make 90 degree turns. We need to create a new board to test on. Okay. So let's add some turns to our board here. I guess I could do the following. Make it so that my board is like this. It's a little weird to do it like this. I'm gonna do that. I lost my corner pieces by doing that, but let's put a corner here and here. And then we'll do the inverse down here. And I need to go still this momentarily to do it. This should be these two. And this should be these two. This really doesn't matter. The game actually, the only reason these symbols matters because it draws them using those. This doesn't matter. And I tried to do a thing where we just use the hashes and then have to calculate what gets drawn, but this was a bit easier. Roger, enjoy your day, my friend. Thank you for the lurk. I'll catch you again soon. You're welcome back anytime, my friend. Anytime. All right, so we're gonna have our board here. And let's, going up to right, I'm gonna add in a comment here so we know 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just for my brain here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. For my sanity, when I look at this, I know what X and Y position I'm on. So that way I can think about where I start, where I end. The idea is I'm going to perform a move. So I'm going to do a board.calculate move with turn. And it's going to be our start X Oh, I have my direction. I should adjust. Maybe I should adjust that. Current, next, start X, start Y, distance. Here, this is where we end up. And I want to assert that our new X should be end X within a tolerance of 0.01. I think an overload for a new board that takes a single string so you can use string literals would be useful. Ooh, Smab, I agree with that. That would be easy to add too. I also kind of want to do one where I can just give it a hash still and it just defaults to a different wall. Drawing this out is like really annoying. Although it does, there's part of this that really shows what's happening here. Also, there's a special symbol. I could use a dot symbol that's actually in the center of the tile. I don't know. I like that though, Smab. I like that idea. And then we could actually pass in a different board as inline data or have a board that is constructed here. Anyway, let's look at this. We want to start our player at, I want to start my player at position 3. 3 point. So the idea here is when a actor moves over the center, we need to move them, and they're moving. So if we're going up and to the right here, so we're going up, let's say we're going up and to the right, we should only move right if we pass this threshold here. So we have to write test for that. We're going to start at position 3.9, sorry, 2.9. So we're just below 2.9. It's going to be my edge case here. This is X, sorry, this should be X is 2. Y is 2.9. I'm going to stick to a distance of 1, and I want to move to the right. My X position should increase the leftover distance. So it should be 0.1 to the center of this here. So I should end up with 2.9 on my X and 3 on my Y. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If I'm going up, oh no, this should be 2. Because this is where my brain gets confused on X and Y, up and down, left and right. Left and right doesn't confuse me. Row and column. Just to test my brain here. Smab, enjoy your lunch. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a beautiful day. Hope to see you again soon. Corpless, I'm not sure if I said good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, but welcome aboard. So happy to have you here. My X did not end up where I thought it would be. Was 2. It was 2. That is interesting. Let me think about it. I'm at position 2. 2, 0, 1, 2. And I'm going up. I should end up at... That is interesting. I'm surprised that that fails. I think I've written this correct. I think I've written the test correctly. Distance 1. I do pass a threshold here. What is... Start, end, up, right. Current, I'm gonna set a current here and a next. I'm gonna add in a debug here so I can see what my values are. Congratulations on number 18, Hyper. Welcome back to the stream. Glad you're here. Just step over so I can evaluate what my new X and my new Y are. My new 2 and 2. This is interesting to me. This is really interesting to me. There might be a bug here in my code that I can't actually move this far. Let's see what's happening. Let's step into that here. Let's stop our debugger. If I'm going up and I want to turn right, let's see what's happening here. It detected that I needed to be at 2, but didn't actually apply. My X didn't go to the correct spot. Might actually have a bug here. Let's step into calculate move. Redston! Greetings, Redston! Redston! Welcome back to the stream today. Redston, how you going? How you doing? Not how you going. How you doing, friend? All right, so these two things. Okay, so we're gonna say, we're gonna get our current row and column. So our current row and column is 2, 2. That makes sense to me, okay? So I haven't actually moved into the next spot just yet. You're going with the go. That's not bad, not bad. I'm glad to hear you're going. You're moving, you're up and grooving. So am I calculating this incorrectly? After this move, math X. What is X? X is where we started, minus the column. There's something wrong here. It seems... I definitely have a bug here. Because we want this to be after I've the value after I've performed the move where I should be. I think I have a bug here. This isn't my current row and column, it's my next column. I believe it should be our next column and next row. And so we actually want to add in, we need to figure out how much to move in a specific direction to do this. All right, so double next X, double next Y. This is where we would end up if we don't go around. This where we will move if we do not turn. And this is what we should be pushing in here next X. Oh, that shouldn't be a refactor, sorry. This should be next X, next Y, next X, next Y. See, we uncovered a bug by writing our test. We realized, so the reason it looked like it was working is actually my Pac-Man is moving after it passes the center, not when it passes the center. I believe that is what's happening here. This should still be I think this should still be our X and Y values. But I'm not sure anymore. Oh no, so we have our X values, our Y values here. Okay, let's try this. Let's run this test. I want to step in and see if that... Exactly, Smab. There's this weird edge case that I specifically am looking for here. And I knew there was a weird edge case. Let's step over. Yeah, something's not quite right here still. It moved us past it this time. Let's debug. Let's step into. I think the test is correct. My implementation is wrong. The test, I think, I double checked my test. So we're saying if I'm starting here and I'm moving up and the player wants to move right, I absolutely should go around this corner. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Maybe I'm wrong. Is this how switch statements are written in C#? They're switch expressions. So it's doing pattern matching, Whimsically Made. Since you're a functional programmer, switch expressions allow us to do pattern matching. Similar, but very different from like OCaml pattern matching switch cases. Hash, my friend, master of the universe, welcome aboard. Hash, how's it going, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Never met a Lambda I didn't like. TuberTech says I'll look them up. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them. So we do have a bug here. Master of breakfast, master of time, master of retro gaming. So maybe I was right. Hang on. If I'm at position 2.9, yeah, I should pass the center because the center is exactly at 3. Okay, so our next X and next Y here. So without doing the crossover, yeah, okay. So then our next column and next row here, if nothing were to happen, our next column would be 2. Our next row would be 1. So this math here is incorrect. There's no docs. Yeah, maybe I could. I'm not that cool. I'm not that cool. Next column, next row. I do need. I kind of hate this. I kind of hate that I'm having to do the following. Because I need the original row. Or something not right here. Now my brain doesn't. My brain is struggling. My brain is struggling here. This is why I broke it down into like a really interesting case preview. So int current. What we'll do row. Oh, did I also do a stupid thing here? Okay, I have that right. I thought I got X and column and row messed up. Hash, fun fact, don't use both row, column, X, and Y in your code. Choose one or the other. Don't use both. Don't use both, I can tell you. This was a terrible idea. This was a terrible idea. I usually use row, so I usually use row and column. because in math, as you know, because you're a mathy guy, y goes up on increase. Y goes up on increase. But in computers, row go down. Row go down, Y go up. The problem is I'm using Raylib, and Raylib uses X and Y. And so my brain can't handle it. Row go down, Y go up. So this would be where our current row, our current column, and this should be column. I believe this is I believe this is what it is. Row. Or is this next X, next Y? Now I just like can't even. I've got so much, but why row go down and why Y go up? Why? Exactly. That's just the way it is. You know why. And computing row and Y go wherever we want. It's true. They go where I tell them to go. That's right. You go and you get there and you like it and you stay put. They go where we tell them to go. That's true. All right, I'm very sad that my brain is struggling to understand this. This here is supposed to be calculating our difference here, and we're going to add that to our... Let me go back here. 3D Axis Pac-Man next, yeah. I was thinking hexagonal Pac-Man would be really cool. Hexman would be really cool to do. Let me look at why this works here. Let's go forward in time real quick. Before I broke everything. All right. Our test failed, but the game feels like it works. The game feels like it works currently. And the idea being that we round down. So the issue is we're rounding down to our current column. And we're finding the current column we're in and we're applying the leftover. So it's interesting here is I feel like we should be getting a weird jump going around corners. And we're just not perceiving it because the frame rate's good enough. BK says, actually just restreamed you for 5 minutes. That's okay. I was playing around with Firebot and accidentally hit the live button. I've done that before. BK, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to this deck. Thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat on here. I appreciate it. Much appreciated. Thank you for the hat redeem. Column would be where we started. And we want to put in plus the difference. Formal goose. Yeah! It's true. Do you always put the same hat on first? This one, I usually do the same starting hat because it fits nicely. It starts as a good base. It's usually between one of these two. One of these two hats. They're very similar. This one's like a greenish color. This one's a brownish color. I have more brownish hats than I have the dark hats, so I like to alternate them. So I start with anyway. Preparing for the inevitable. It's true. Formal Goose. I hope you've been well, my friend. It's been a while. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been well. Welcome back. So this should be where we start. This one sort of needs to be our next row here. Let's try that. This should be where we end up. This should be where we end up. All of these should be where we end up. Hat must be a struct using stack instead of the heap. It's true. True story. Ryan, it was a great stream, he says. This is making me sad. It's making me sad because the math here, I feel like I need to draw something, and I don't like drawing when I'm on stream. It feels awkward. Super Tugger, that happens. So this x minus, is this right? Now I'm so confused on my test. Let's look at my test here. Let's look at some obvious cases. All right, so an obvious case would be if I'm at 3, 0, and I'm going up and I want to move right. This one should be obvious, but I'm not sure that that's actually true. Should be my end x should be. Oh, hang on. Why is my index 2.9? Oh, because I end up moving to the right. I actually don't know that this is obvious. Saying if I'm on this spot and I want to move to the right, go ahead and do it. I don't. Is this the behavior that I want? I think it is. I think this test will fail. Distance is how far the Pac-Man should move. Distance is how far the Pac-Man is attempting to move. So this is calculated. Depending on your engine, whatever your frame rate is, you're going to calculate that based on how much time has passed. I think this will fail. That definitely failed because this should be a 2 anyway. So I started them there. So if I'm in this position, 2, 2. Okay. Now I have 2 failures, which doesn't make sense to me. Hang on. It like didn't pick up that I commented this out or something. Oh, it's because I modified the test. That's what happened. Take a look here. So on this test, we fail. X should have been 3, but was 2. So this is because it thinks we've passed the threshold. Let me run my game to think about it here. Let me slow it down. So as the Pac-Man, it's so weird. I can't move. Turn this on so you can see it a little bit. If I'm past the center point, it doesn't let me move, which is what I want. Is that true in all directions? I'm past the center point. So the reason where I'm watching is this row here says my current where it thinks I am, right? So once it thinks I'm in row 14, that means I'm past the center point here. So I shouldn't be able to turn. Anytime before that, it allows me to turn. So there is a weird... I'm either writing my test incorrectly, or my implementation has a weird edge case that I'm not considering. Let's look here. So, if my... Sorry about the timer. Oh! Let's try again. I had it there. If my... Okay. Oh! Check this out. It's the... I have a rounding. Yeah, so I'm done. The test I think I'm writing is not valid. Okay, so I'm going to move to the right next. Gonzo and Captain Enosa, great to have you here on this beautiful Saturday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. No, this should be okay. Let's try the following. If I am at XY 14.2, 6.0 14.2, and I move enough, let's write this test here. Take a screenshot of this. Yeah, exactly, Smab. You're absolutely right here. Let's look at what's going on here. I have 6 point... All right. Oh, I want to write this type of test. Okay. So 14.2. If I'm coming up here, this would be the equivalent to, I believe, 2.2. I might need to put my actual board in here. The Pac-Man devs would have killed to be able to write in C#. Maybe. 2.2. Move 0.5. I'm going to slow this movement down here. 0.3 should bring us... 0.3 should bring us past the threshold of 0.2. We're moving up, so we should end up at 1.9 if we were going straight. Is this right? Let me look at my game real quick. All right, so my question is, what row and column is this? We didn't know any better back then, yeah. They may not have known that they wanted simpler language. So if I turn here, yeah, so that is 14. So 2.2 is correct. I think I wrote the code incorrectly here. Okay. I think I wrote the test incorrectly. I might actually have the correct thing here. We have our start. Somehow this keeps shifting positions. I don't understand that. Probably because I keep changing it. That's okay. Distance is 0.3. We should end up in row 2. And then our X should be 2.1. So we've gone to the right a little bit. You used to enjoy it. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I really like writing in C. Sometimes I like writing. I don't know if that's true, actually. I don't know if I actually have ever enjoyed writing in something. I found it... what I'll say is I have found it satisfying to write and you know, touch the computer's deepest internal. Okay, so this does fail. And I don't quite understand why. Do I have the wrong X and Y in here? Is this a row column issue? Let me debug it again. The whole day trying to understand this, which is fine. I guess the debugger. Hello? Did I not say debug? I want to switch to X and Y. Why is this, the debugger's not opening now? Ugh, VS Code is like really frustrating sometimes. Let's try reloading it. What is going on here? Do we have, all right. So I'm gonna have a new terminal. Is there a process eating it up? No. Let's restart VS Code. This doesn't happen. So what I'll say is this type of thing doesn't happen in Visual Studio. So this is one of the most frustrating aspects of trying to use Visual Studio Code for this, is it just stops working sometimes without a particular reason. Why is this opening? Don't save that. Art says, I did an exercise a couple days ago when I had to translate RISC assembly to its corresponding machine code. I like working in assembly, but the machine code is just tedious. There you go. If you actually write full programs in pure machine code, writing in assembly is pretty close. All right, so please let me debug this. Come on. It's not, the debugger is not connecting. Can I get there this way? In school, we had to do RISC assembly. It's not that bad. Like, tedious is the strong thing, and like looking up, I don't know why it let me debug there. These might be different plugins or something. Let's step into this. First of all, what do we get back? 2 and 2. And so it is rounding to this position here. Doesn't let me do the restart the way I wanted to. Aries, welcome back. So that's the whole point, I think, with RISC assembly. MIPS is another good one. Not good one, but MIPS is a good one to explore the concepts of assembly, because MIPS has like a very small instruction set. How many MIPS assembly? How many instructions? So it's like a really small set of instructions. So what is it? It looks like, yeah. MIPS, there are a few special notations. MIPS is a good exploration. How many MIPS assembly? Let's just go look at the MIPS assembly. It's a very, very simple architecture. Yeah, we have a hat, knee job coder. I just want to know what are the different. So like x86 assembly has like thousands of different instruction codes. All right, MIPS assembly, how many operations? I just want to know how many it has. But MIPS is a good one if you're just trying to learn about it. A lot of schools use it. We did stuff in RISC because it's an actual set. Can you even LeaQ? I don't know what I'm looking for is incorrect apparently. I want to know the total number MIPS assembly. how many different, you know, instruction codes are there. I think it's really, really small. I can't remember. MIPS machine language, MIPS reference sheet. Yeah, it's like, look how tiny. These are like the things we can do in MIPS. All right. The searching feels terrible now. Yeah, absolutely. I need to stop using Google, but I'm addicted to it. So there's very few things you can do in MIPS, and most programs, it's Turing complete. I believe it's Turing. I mean, it has to be Turing complete. Anyway, distraction over here. I'm trying to figure out when this is actually true here. This is our current row and column. It gives us the 2 and the 2. So we are wanting to switch to the right. We're wanting to switch going right. And our column, X minus column and row, we're getting the row correct. Shouldn't we be, if we want to go in our next direction to the right, it feels like this should be the difference of distance isn't being used anywhere. What am I doing? What is my code even doing here? This like doesn't make any sense what I've done here. This should be X. We want to take the distance, the remaining distance should be our Y minus our row. This is where we ended up. So it's this will be 0.2. And we should add in the distance minus this value. So this is like the remainder. Like, I don't even know what I was doing there. Benna, welcome to the stream. Looks like a great comment here. I haven't read it completely. Let's check it out. A typical MIPS architecture includes a fixed set of instructions, which varies slightly depending on the specific implementation and version of the architecture. However, the core set of instructions in MIPS architecture typically includes around 100 to 200 instructions. These instructions cover a wide range of operations such as arithmetic and logical operators, data transfer between memory and registers, control flow operations, branches and jumps, and various other operations necessary. Yeah, it's having trouble finding exactly. Maybe I shouldn't have looked for the number, but instead said, here's an example of the types of things you can do. MIPS has a very small number of instruction sets, and so MIPS is really, really helpful for learning those things. And Penna, Spenna, I'd like to welcome you to the crew now, Spenna. Thank you for following me. I said thank you for following and welcome to the stream today. We got Spenna following the captain. Thank you so much for the follow, Penna. Let me know how I should pronounce that. I'm going to call you, should I call you Triple S? Happy to have you here. I believe this is actually what we want to do here. I'm doing something really weird with my, I have no idea what this value is actually representing. It's like my original position minus where I ended up. And this just happens to work because as I'm going around a corner, I have my resolution happens to be small enough or something that it works out. I don't know. I think, let's run our test here. I feel like for this, let's see if we pass this test. Okay. I wasn't calculating the remaining distance properly. Let's see if this breaks the game completely, if it's still playable. Switch expressions. That's right, Irish John Games. Switch expressions. Oh, give me those switches. Give me those switches. I'm sorry I made that sound, everybody. I'm so sorry. Points at all. I'm so sorry. Let's give everyone 50 points for having to hear that. I apologize. So I actually think I fixed a bug here going up and to the right. I am amazed that this is working at all. I'm actually amazed that this is working at all. Are they not most gorgeous thing ever? They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. Although I have a student who is really obsessed with code golfing right now, who all he wants to do, we just went over how to use switch expressions. Like, oh my goodness, you're telling me I can put everything on one line like this? I have a student who's like super into code golfing right now, doing insane things with switches, where it's like in the middle of a console.write line, he'll have a switch, and then it's insane. I'm like, stop, you're hurting me. So we've had to bring out Style Cop. We've had to bring out Style Cop. Have a beautiful day, Art. Thank you so much for hanging out here. Irish John, thank you for the clip. Oh no. Oh, this might end up being this one might be it. Thank you. I was just about to do that. Thank you for the shout out to Irish Jern there. Switch expressions. Oh, give me those switches. Give me those switches. I'm sorry I made that sound, everybody. I'm so sorry. Points. Thank you for the clip. At all. Oh no, that's a good one. That's a pretty good one. Also, Irish John. Oh, Irish John, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to our stack here. Thank you for the hat. Boop. There we go. Give me those switches. It's true. Thindle, welcome back to the stream. Thank you for the hat redeem. Thank you for the hat redeem. Hesh, you know how Hesh has a desk up and down redeem, and Hesh was saying how he was like, I need to make sure that has a 30-minute cooldown. The Hesh, the desk going up and down has to have a 30-minute cooldown because people just keep redeeming them. So Hesh, there's a 3-hour cooldown on the hats per person. So if they team up on me, they have the option to go for a hat overflow. We've had a hat overflow attack a couple times, but as a team, they can get me. Exactly. You can do it once, but if you try again, thank you for the hat redeem, by the way. Thank you for the hat redeem. If you try again, you gotta wait 3 hours for that next hat, my friend. You gotta wait 3 hours. Also, just so you guys don't know, we did give a shout out to Irish John Games. Irish John, fantastic. Permission to use a sound alert. Yeah, absolutely, John. Jern, go for it. I love it. Folks, be sure to check out, I'm sorry we lost it there for a second, but be sure to check out Irish John Games. Incredible streamer, developer, creator of the up-and-coming Rise of Piracy, folks. Rise of Piracy is going to be an incredible, action-packed exploration real-time strategy game, single-player, multiplayer. You got it. Get an island, get a boat, get the crew together, epic battles. Go destroy your friends. Go destroy someone else. It's going to be awesome. It looks great. He's going to be published by Microprose. Incredible. Thank you for the doy, Lance. Welcome to the stream. Go check it out, folks. Be sure to give it some love. Click that wish list on Steam. You know you want it. You know you need it. Be sure. Microprose sounds like 1989 again. Look, those were the best of times. Those were the worst of times. Those were the years. Add it to your wish list, folks. You know you need it. You know you want it. Click that add to wish list button. Give Jern some boost there. Port Royale vibes. Yeah, absolutely. Incredible. I can't wait to play it, Jern. I can't wait to play it. Thank you so much for all you do for the game dev, software and game dev community as well. Love your stream. You inspire me. Every time I'm there, I'm inspired. If I missed a hat redeem, let me know. Sometime I need to have an audio cue on it. Okay. So, Smab, we discovered the bug here. We discovered the bug. This one should be I have no idea how this was working before, if I'm being completely honest. When we go up, it's very weird that this is working. This should be X minus column. And this one should be, all right, X minus column row. I think we've got that now. This represents the leftover distance. I might have these reversed. When I'm going up, decrease is going up. There we go. Up and down. Okay. Let's write some tests. Let's write some tests here. All right. So I actually think this test, I want to believe that is a sure feather in the hat. Is Micropro publish you? Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, my test fails. Why? Why? Let me think about it. I probably have something dumb here. All right, if I'm at, yeah, I have something dumb here. No, I don't. Map position 2.9. Why? Map position 2.9. This should be 2.1 as I'm coming around the corner. Is that right? Ganga. Is it Ganga? Jinja. Jinga? Jinga? How do I pronounce your name? Let me know. Jinga. Thank you for following me today. We got Jinga. Yes, Jinga. Jinga 254. Ganga. Let's try it again. Have you met Ganga? Ganga 254 is here and they have followed me today. Ganga, thank you so much for following me. Thank you for the follow, Ganga. Happy to have you here on this beautiful Saturday. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Welcome aboard. I just, out of curiosity, does my game still function? So I had a bug. This is actually I believe it's actually functioning correctly before it was not properly implemented, and I'm surprised it was working at all. Mooniz, thank you. Mooniz, thank you for the hat. Thank you for the raid. Lance, did I miss your hat redeem? Let's get a hat added to the stack. I missed the hat thing. I need to add a sound notification here. Thank you for being here. Mooniz, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. Folks, if you guys don't know Mooniz taught me everything I know about game development. Incredible streamer, gamer, programmer. Full-time job as a Unity dev. Go check out Mooniz. How was your stream? If you got a raid and run, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. How was your stream, though? Tell us about it. Feel free to drop some links if you got them. Videos, anything of that sort. It's great to have you here. Mooniz, when are we doing Mechanically Challenged? We got to do it. Giuseppe, I like that name. Can you use item underscore fireflower and item underscore iceflower for now? I'm adding the aliases in the patch, but I messed up the naming. Like 4 of them require item underscore. Right now, you can check it in the Lakido shop.lua. Oh, you're adding Mooniz. I was like, this has no context. Sorry. That was some other conversation that I'm not a part of. I was going, what is happening? Jesse Spy. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Jesse Spy, happy to have you here. Yeah, I was really confused. I was like, what does this have to do with anything that's going on here? Jesse Spy. Jesse Spy, I'd like to welcome you to the crew now. Jesse Spy, thank you for following me. I'd like to welcome you and say happy Saturday today. We got Jesse Spy today. Following the captain's crew. Jesse, thank you for the follow. Why doesn't this work? 2.9. 2.9. This should be 2.1. Is that correct? 2.9 here? If I'm going up, 2.9 is further down. Further down, yeah. So this should be that. This should be that. So I did have the wrong test written correctly. I did have the wrong test written correctly. That's not the words I meant to say. I did have a test written incorrectly here. I didn't think about it. So 2.9 is almost in position 3. All right. My students, this project I think is going to be too complex for my average student, but this will be a really fun. I think this will be a really fun project for some advanced students. Okay. Let's keep going here. If we are going up to right, let's go down to right next. Down to right. So if we are in position 1.9, that's right here, 1.9. And we're going to come down 0.3. We're going to round that corner. Isn't it 2 here? Let's keep going. .NET test. Also, Thindo, I don't know if I said welcome to the stream. It's great to see you, Thindo. It will be refactored when my students ever see this code. Absolutely. I am amazed at how tricky Pac-Man code. Pac-Man's movement's super interesting. There's a reason. All right, so I guess it makes sense. There's a reason why we don't see many like Pac-Man tutorials, or maybe I haven't. I got a 90% approval rating and some good constructive comments. Awesome. So we start at 1.5 and we move 1 down. 2.5. So that's our down and to the right. Additionally, I'll include a bunch of explanation on these things as well, Smab. So now, let's go the opposite direction here. Let's add up and to the left. If we're going up and to the left, we actually want to subtract this out. So this would be 1.9, and this would be 1.9, 1.9. Balance! Welcome back to the stream, folks. Be sure to check out Cyan's stream. Incredible streamer. Scientist extraordinaire. What do you got lined up for this weekend, Balance? Happy Saturday, by the way. I may want to add one of those descriptions. I do think I need to add in a comment. It's a great recommendation. Calculates the next position of an actor on the board. Of the board here. So it calculates the next position of an actor on the board when moving around corners. The distance, so it's essentially this is what it is. The last switch might need its own comment. I think you're right on that. Distance minus the math.absolute y minus rho represents the remaining distance after the move. Okay. Row / column is the snap to position on the board. This represents the remaining distance after the move. This should be added in the new direction. Put an XY here. Yeah, this is a tricky one. I'd originally written this not as a switch, and it was really, really messy. I don't actually know if this is any cleaner, right? I don't actually know that that is cleaner. Do you have a better name for us, Smab? Definitely shouldn't be row or column. Rounded X, rounded Y. Previously, I'm hoping to get rid of row and column. Snap X. So if we think of row and columns as, yeah, snap X, snap Y. So basically, we're sealing or flooring the value there. Snap 2, I like that. Snap 2x, snap 2y, snap. Yeah, since I had to have an explanation there. Remaining distance after the move, this should be added in the new direction. Down here. It could also be cleared up by, this could be cleared up by creating a method that does this. It's potential that writing a method might clear it up in the code a little bit, but I'm going to leave this for now. Surprisingly difficult. Interesting challenge. This code has been an interesting challenge here. All right, so let's change this going to down and to the left. And we're going to end up at 1.8 and 1.5. And then now let's do the other 90-degree turns. Inline data here. And we're going to be coming from the right and switching down and up. So coming from the right, we're starting at our X here is 1 point. Let's do 1.5. And we're in column Y is 2 here. Let's move a full 1.0. We're going to be turning downward. So I'm going to be going right and down. So I'll leave this blank for just for now. Blank is not the right word. Direction.right, direction.down. We're going to be switching to going downward here. All right, so we're coming around the corner. We're going to go down. And when we come down, we're in a snapped position X2, and going down increases Y. So it should go to 2.5. So I have that, Smab. I do have that. There's a different method. Here, this should be called something else. Next direction is the wrong word. Here. You're not a tortilla tornado. What a cool name. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you here. I wouldn't say this is advanced C#. This is just a tricky geometric problem. The way I'm implementing this is kind of tricky. It's kind of a somewhat heavy geometry problem. Not even that heavy. It's just there is a lot of thoughts that have to go into it. So next direction is actually helps us figure out, well, this is super interesting. I've actually eliminated. This assumes, so here's an interesting thing, Sam. This method assumes you can turn. This method assumes you can turn. Oh, you're saying I have a lot. Yeah. This is why I'm saying the inline data felt really bad here. Absolutely. This inline data feels really bad. MJT says, I have had a feeling since the whole movement and grid code for this is overcomplicated since start. All the casting back and forth from int to doubles and stuff makes it hard for me to look at the code. So if I had if I was coding it for a single engine, I probably wouldn't do it this way. I could get rid of those. So I could just change this. So these could be doubles and I could do math.round. So I can't, the problem is the round doesn't work. This could do a math.floor. So one option here, now that I've gotten to this point, I could actually do this. This is why writing the test is going to be important here. Now I'm not doing any casting. So this seems like a reasonable thing to do. Oh, Smab, you're suggesting I add a comment as to that we're testing the different 90-degree turns. I understand what you're saying here. Let's make sure that didn't break any tests. Yeah, so this is fine now because we're flooring it. MJT, does this look better to you? Just curious. I was using the cast to an int to essentially round so that I could do stuff in my grid, which is in a 2D array. Or represented as a two-dimensional array. Meme Secco, welcome to the stream. These are hat redeems. So can never decide which hat to wear. I'm just having an issue as none of the movement code for any game I've ever seen has been this complex, this deep. MJT, have you done? Have you written the movement code from hand, like by hand, or are you using an engine to detect collisions? So if I was in like Unity, I could just use their built-in collision detection to do this. I could use built-in collision detection to do it. I'm having to do that collision detection myself. And so this is detecting the collision and applying the physics around the corner. It's breaking your brain why it has to be there. So, has to is a strong word. Has to is a strong word. It doesn't have to be here. So what I'm doing here with this, and maybe it's just my desire to be overcomplicating things here. If I want to move the Pac-Man, I would encourage you to implement it yourself and show me how you do it. Yeah, so this is why I'd encourage you to, can you write it? Can you write the code to do it? So I want to come down this hallway. We're making a Pac-Man inspired game, yeah. So when I move down this hallway, and I've explained this a few times, but that's okay, I'm happy to do it again. Thank you, Smab. I need to update my WAT command. When can I turn? So the question is, when can I turn? And then the second question is, when I how far left do I go when I make the turn? So these are two questions that I need to ask. So in my version, the Pac-Man will always move a specific amount of distance orthogonally. So when I hit, if a move would cause me to move over the center of this tile, and I'm going to move left, I say, okay, well, I want to find the remaining value here that I moved into this spot and then to the left. So I need to get the leftover value. So my question would be, how would you do this otherwise? How would you do that otherwise? So that would, I'm not saying you have to tell me how you do it. My challenge to you is, can you write an implementation that's different? Because there's many implementations. Can you write an implementation that's different and just go for it? JD, great to see you, my friend. It's so nice to see you, JD. So nice to see you there. We got the JD Big Brain mug today. I walked over there. It came out good. I really like it. I really like it, folks. If you guys don't know JD,
if you want to feel
I can do it.
Talking with Captain, let me see if I could do my Captain impression. I am not the Captain, but my eyebrows also move in a way like the Captain.
JD, folks, if you want to see some game dev, if you want to see some OBS work, just awesome stuff over there, be sure to check it out. I heard JD, but not the JD I was expecting. Yeah, different JD. That's right. JD does dev, though. My initial thinking is to have a smaller subgrid. Yeah, so that I think is a reasonable, another MJT, I think a really reasonable solution to this would be to do it by pixels. Do it by pixels. You actually end up with a grid that is something like 240 pixels wide. And then what? Sorry, I'm bad at this. 240 pixels. So your internal representation is actually the game screen. I think would be another reasonable implementation to get it right. And if you did it that way, as your implementation, you know, whatever this is, 254, whatever it is, 280 pixels tall, you don't need, your collision detection would be different. And in fact, I believe this is what it's doing in the actual Pac-Man game. And in the actual Pac-Man game, you get a 3 pixel boost around corners if you cue the move up ahead of time. You get because you end up jumping around the corner. They don't calculate the distance. I'm doing it different than the original Pac-Man. They don't calculate the leftover distance. They just say, oh, during specific frames, I'm allowed to turn. So there are specific frames that the Pac-Man is allowed to make this turn. So it's a little bit different. In fact, my solution, I think, is probably dumb. Dumb is not the right word. Stupidly complex for what I want to do. But I want to do it where I'm not thinking about the pixels. Mine is a geometric representation of it. Kind of. I don't know. Maybe it would actually make sense to have... I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. X equals 15 would be the same as... yeah, exactly. Yellow Circle Man before the sham... Oh, it's called Catman. Check it out. It's Catman. It's going to be a Pac-Man inspired game. We're going to collect different hats. And they give us different power-ups. We'll have a dunce cap, which is a negative power-up. Ooh, I need to add that to our README here. I like the idea of a dunce cap. README. Ideas. Dunce cap. Power down. We're gonna Smab. I want to make not Smab. Hesh. Very retro. I want to make these bowler caps. These are gonna be odd job bowler caps. Bowler cap. That you can, for a limited amount of time, you can, rather than being able to eat the ghost or whatever we end up coming with, you have an ability where you can throw the bowler cap for a limited amount of time to kill the enemies. You don't eat the enemies, but now you have a thing that you can throw at them. It's gonna be an odd job bowler cap. Maybe. We'll see if we ever actually get to implementing that. But that, yeah, bowler hat. Thank you, Smab. Look, I said bowler hat. It's gonna be super funny, hopefully, or dumb. Look, everything I do is dumb. Smab, you're suggesting. So you wanted me to add. Sorry, and I got off here. Just adding a comment. Tests 90-degree turns. Were you suggesting I break this out into different tests, or just adding a comment in here that's saying testing the different 90-degree turns? Because I won't have a, technically there's still an up down and an up up and stuff, and those still work if you pass them in. But this method does assume that you're allowed to make the turn, and there's something else that actually checks whether or not the turn it happens. Allow move when intersection. Allow, I think allow 90-degree turn when intersection is open. How about that? Yeah, that's true. This collection of values. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense about this, Smab? Look, let me zoom in. Maybe if I zoom in, it'll make more sense. How about now? How about now? Does it look better now? Really, what you were suggesting before, where this is an actor, is it, you know, this whole thing here, these and this is sort of our starting condition. And then this is our ending condition here. Just look, it doesn't make sense. It sounds like a skill issue. No, I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding, of course. I think it is horribly confusing. 90-degree turn direction, something like that. Given a start position, distance to travel, and turn direct, and 90-degree turn, the end, where should we end our move? Yeah. MJT, if you're still here as well, I think one of the things that is making this a little bit more challenging to think about and write as well is I'm trying to write testable code. That's another thing that I feel has complicated. When I first implemented the movement, I got it working, but it wasn't super testable. And then it was like, okay, well, how do I make this testable without having to say, well, let's test the entire state of a game. Let's test the entire state of a game. So there's that piece of it too. Down. We're going right. Let's bring us to 1.8 and let's do 0.3. We should end up at 2, and as we round the corner, it'll be 2.1. Not enough hats, Tommy. You have the power. You have the power. As a group, as a collection of individuals, you have the power to add hats to the stack. And really, it's up to you what you do with that power. For a measly 500 points, JD, thank you for the hat redeem. Is that a hat to the stack? Thank you for the hat. With great power comes great stackability. Okay. So we got our direction dot up here. Let's do our lefts now. Tommy, thank you for the hat redeem. Is that a hat to the stack? Get another hat in here. All right. Getting there. We're making progress. Okay, so these ones are going to be lefts. How many hats do I have? You're going to have to just find out. The only way to find out is to use that hat redeem. the only way to find out. Sorry, Tommy. It's a 3-hour cooldown per person. You tried. You went for it. You went for it. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. Roger, thank you for the hat redeem. Let's get a hat added to the stack here. Gonna add a hat in here. There we go. Thank you for the hat. Thank you for the hat. No, don't apologize. Thank you for the hats. I think we're 9 hats in so far. I think we're up to 9 hats. I need a hat counter on the screen. Ooh, Tortilla Tornado. I'm sorry. Let's give you exclamation points to see how many points you have. Let's see. Sometimes let's give you 50 bonus points. There you go. There's 50 bonus points to get you started. Get you started. So you get 120 points per hour for being here in the chat. You get bonus if you're active in the chat, you'll get 240. You can get up to 240 bonus points per hour just for hanging out. JD can also give you bonus points. Oh, also JD, I forgot to give you JDs. JD add JD does dev. Just for being here, JD, 10 JDs. Oh, hang on, I gotta do JDs. 10 JDs to you, JD. Welcome back. Thank you for the hat redeem, Tornado. Let's do it. You can do whatever do whatever you want. Very good description of how the tiles and positions are used in the original. I should read through that. Thank you for the hat redeem. Got another one in there. You got 110 JDs. Not bad. Not bad. I got to figure out what people can do with the JDs. We're gonna add in some JD specific redeems though. I think that would be a really fun little thing to add in. Tortilla Tornado, thank you for the follow. Have you met Tortilla? They're a tornado, you know, Tortilla Tornado. Thank you for following me. Tortilla Tornado, welcome to the crew. Happy to have you here. Smab, I should read through that site. Can you send the link again? I feel like I bookmarked it, but I'm not sure that I did. Sorry, I think I lost. I don't know if I have the link. It's all about the center point of the actors. Yeah, so I'm okay. Gotcha. It's about the center point. Oh, I did bookmark this. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to. I really need to do a little bit more research here. The codes will probably continue the most of the time, but I'll get there. Look, it's all about learning and coding and growing together. You're in the right place, Tortilla Tornado. All right, folks, you're gonna be real sad. We're gonna take a quick break here. We're gonna come back. We're gonna keep writing some tests, probably do some refactoring. Actually, I feel bad leaving all you guys. We're gonna wrap up for today. I've been streaming with Grumpy Game Dev since 3 a.m. this morning. It's coming on 8:30. So I'm pretty tired. I think I'm gonna pop off here. So instead of taking a break, we're gonna find someone to raid. Let's see if we got someone. I'm open to suggestions. I've been trying to raid new people, a lot of new game devs here, but I'm open to suggestions if anyone's got some suggestions for us on new people. Thornity Company, are they streaming right now? I'm not familiar with them. JD, what do they do? I've been trying to raid new people. Spreading that love. They've been going for an hour. Yeah, Thornity. Learning more with Godot. All right, we're gonna go raid Thornity. Thank you for the suggestion. All right, folks, when we get there, thank you for the doy. Thank you for nice try, Lance. When we get there, go raid Pirate Software. Pirate Software doesn't look like Pirate Software's even streaming. Oh, be right back, coffee. All right, well, maybe JD says don't leave. Trust me. All right. We're gonna go over there. We're gonna give Thornity a raid. All right, folks. When we get there, say happy Saturday. Show us your game. Show us what you got. I don't know if they're working on a game. Happy Saturday. Show us what you got. All right, and then let's add in the Twitch raid. All right, there we go, folks. Sorry, I'm taking so long. There we go. Enjoy your rabbit hole. Thanks, Mab. Yeah, I want to read about that too. Happy Saturday. Enjoy your raid. I'm so sorry. All right, copy pasta. Get that over there. Here we go. All right, everybody, have a beautiful day. I'll be back tomorrow. Keep coding, keep growing. Be the best you can be. You're welcome back anytime. Bye-bye.